Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? It's 2:02 in the morning, West Coast time, July 3rd, 2024. The Weaver Agency of Roseman, California. Yeah, I'm not alive, not awake, and definitely here. Okay, so politics still going on these days, and I haven't been keeping track of it because it's still going after each other left and right. They're still reacting over. They're still reacting to the debate that happened, and people are having conniption fits at the Democratic Party. Republicans are having a field day over there. They're dancing up a jig. Trump is still mouthing off left and right, feeling like he's got the momentum, and he's going to talk and he's going to squeal, and everything else is right around the king of America, apparently. This kind of pisses me off because one screwed up debate, one feeling of inadequacy when you're not even on your A game on this one. And then we see the contempt, we see the attitude, we see the bloodlust, we see the teeth and mouth salivating over. We got the win. Now we get to have all the power. And then the conniption fits, the egos go on while the side's still struggling for survival, still having a field day over this shit. There's a lot of fear and despair I'm hearing on the independent channels, not to mention on the corporate medias. Whether or not we're actually going to have a country or not. We'll have a country or not, but is it going to be what the voters want? After what they've been hearing in salivation left and right, it's going to be up to them. Hearing a candidate just gloating left and right, saying, "We got him now. Now we're going to do this. We're going to do retributions like crazy." So I have to keep asking the voters out there that I keep blaming shit on, because I'm still blaming it on them for not being well equipped, mentally or physically or anything else for it. Because I'm saying voting is a privilege, it's a right, and it's something that our country is built upon regarding decisions of installing people we are putting our own power into to help run a country, to run states, to run counties and local municipalities. We're putting our faith and trust in these people because their we bought their story and wonder, and we assume that they are a worthy character. And the question is, are they worthy? We hear it all the time. What I hear is retribution, retribution, retribution. We got to retaliate. We got to fight back. We're going to kick ass. We're going to win because America's great again, and we're going to punish, 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 punish. And I'm thinking, is this America? I mean, clearly, America is supposed to be going forward, not going back and looking at the people and just punishing people left and right and making it into an autocratic society. We never wanted that in the first place. It was never indicated that we wanted to be ruled by a king. I mean, there's one thing being ruled by a tyrant across the waters. But now we got the tyrant here being ruled by other tyrants across the waters. Because one tyrant wants to be, strong enough to show some kind of strength to the other tyrants to say, "See what I done, see what I done." Yeah, you tore us apart pretty damn good. Only because we allowed it. We voters have allowed it. And I'll blame the voters because they didn't catch all the signs. And they actually wanted us to lose what was special of our country. We can pour over the history books, we can pour over the manuals and the stories and everything else, trying to understand what does it mean to be American. Is it our traditions, our beliefs? People want to turn this into a damn a Sharia law country. Just one religion and that's it? No plurality? Nothing that shows us that we are Americans? We had values that we're still trying to follow? But now we're following Pied Piper. The story of the Pied Piper in Hamlin? I heard stories like that when I was growing up as a kid. And we fell into the spell of a con artist with the pipe. And now we pay for it. He was going to do this, he's going to do that, but the other people following him had their own personal things. We had the lessons from the 2016 election. We didn't learn. We didn't want to learn. We thought we had somebody who was really going to be taking care of us because this guy promised. Like every other damn thing he promised to get falling through. He didn't pay his employees. Let businesses fall. Had these promises of these products and things, and we just didn't learn because we kept listening to the damn Piper's tune. So now we're screwed. Back 2016, we're royally screwed because for 2 years running, we had people trying to say, well, I want this, no, I want this, I want. Nothing was getting done. Nothing was getting done. Hell, 2016 to 2020, nothing was getting done until we actually had the elections. We elected a new leader that was hopefully going to be bringing us some kind of unity going on. But we were so divided during that time, I wasn't quite sure if the current sitting president was actually going to be able to bring us together here. Because we already had this fracture going on. And the thing is, he kept at it. We did have bills passed. We did have laws made and changed. We didn't have a balanced budget, but we didn't go into default. And I'm worried about that one for the country going into default because now our credit sucks in the world. It used to be the greatest. Well, actually, it used to be at a position where it was supposed to be. We were credible. Now we're not. Not just because of the Democrat, but because of the other actions happening in our legislative system. And it is important for this one coming up that we have to make sure that the people we're getting into office are actually going to take care of the country, lead it forward, and not backwards or into some kind of conspiracy nut job thing going on. But the problem is we got too many pipers playing. They want us to follow this way or that way. No wonder us rats are having problems with it. The humans are having issues. They're losing their kids over this thing. Future generations. Ideas, ideologies, dreams. Our country was made out of immigration, literally, and invasion. I say invasion because when it started off, we went over to the new world from old world, and we're looking for more resources to tap into. We're looking for things to exploit. We're looking for places to explore, colonize, and hopefully create our own country. And eventually we did. And as it turned out, we kept gathering more and more territory, shoving other people aside, and those who actually are part of the country itself, of their own territories, we shoved them aside. Almost wipe them out. Almost wipe out the memory. and thinking we're the best, we're the greatest, right? Good Lord. So I keep asking myself, why am I celebrating a country? Why am I celebrating a country that is struggling with its own damn identity, and not to mention, and trying to demonstrate it by still causing genocide across the waters, or helping in the process of causing genocide across the waters? We wanted peace, but it's not happening because the other side, who's doing the genocide, still wants it. Still wants more bloodshed. Can't get enough of it. Talking about the Pied Piper, got them all over the damn place. How are we going to be able to handle this one? I don't know. What is it, 248, 249 years birthday we got since 1776? I mean, we celebrated from 1776 all the way up until this year. So let's see. 76 minus 2024. 248 years. Should I be playing a Yankee Doodle Dandy and celebrate it with the old-fashioned values we actually had back then? But the problem is, we kept looking back to see what points that made us great. We're constantly struggling and stepping over our damn toes and everyone else's toes. We have these rallies of trying to promote what America's supposed to be and then try to promote a singular religion. Problem is, we were made out of different beliefs, different faith-based beliefs. But no, some people think one is more special than the other, so therefore they have to be, because we don't know how to deal with it otherwise. It's terrifying, isn't it? We are dealing with a situation here where faith-based is more important than anything else we've got these days. And it sucks. It sucks that we have to put ourselves in this situation here. Christianity has to be the primary, nothing else. Well, we've got state legislators out there thinking that Christianity is the only thing that holds us together. Boy, are they screwed up in the heads. And some of them are actually our history literate. I don't think so, Scooter boys and girls. I don't think so. We had different countries coming over with they're represented by immigrants, and also those who cannot stand the persecution in their own country, with their own freedoms and values being wiped out in their old lands, and want the new land to be a lot better and discovered. We ain't, because we're getting more and more prejudicial over it. We're looking at the newcomers over here, asking them, what makes you so special to join us? Who are you? What are you going to be bringing to us? Except you're an immigrant. Ew. What the hell are you? Next to us. And we are so damn elitist, it's not even funny. We think we're the greatest on earth. We want to be the best of everything. We keep convincing ourselves we're the best. Nah, we're just more egomaniacs. We're ego-driven. We're megalomaniacs. We think we want peace. No, we want peace. Well, we tell you we want peace. We will show you that by skull thumping you one way or another. Here comes our fleet in the water. Bow down to us, because we are the modern day equivalent to the Roman Empire. Yeah, I said so before a while ago. We're still doing it. And if we happen to get one particular leader into office, it's going to be that way again. We did the isolationism back in the 30s. didn't do too well. We had the Great Depression happening all over the world, the economic depression. One country told that they couldn't rebuild their stockpiles, and their armies defied the world and started taking over Europe. Across the waters over the Pacific, we had an emperor with delusions of grandeur who was going to be taking over things. And he spread thin, but he was going to take over the Pacific waters, all the way up to the shorelines of our own country. Blast out a base in Hawaii. It took us a few years, a lot of lives, and a couple of nuclear explosions, but we made our point. Don't mess with us. We joined European allies to make Europe great again. But actually, mustache, snot nose asshole would kick the shit out of him. Told Italy to knock the shit out. And almost had a complete meltdown over Russia. Turned into the Soviet bloc. Oh yeah, when was it that we were supposed to have the golden years? When were we supposed to be turning back the clock when we actually knew better? Was it back at 1860? We didn't know any better during that time. We had Confederate states saying that we have more authority over ourselves than the Unions. Screw 'em. We'll treat our people, we'll treat our property, and there's nothing you can do about what we're doing. We're seceding from the Union. And the one thing we didn't want was a Union to be divided. Screw the peace, grab the musket, grab the cannons. 4 years of it. And a lot of lives wasted. Was those the years that were supposed to be productive? Was that supposed to be special in our country? What was it making our country special to people? An ad hoc dream that was sent over to people that they kept regurgitating left and right or repeating themselves left and right. This is great. This is great. This is how our country should be. Their version of America was a hell of a lot different than what the reality was. And we still didn't even understand what the reality was. We were still living in someone else's fantasy dream. But we wanted a country that was self-determining. We wanted electors to elect the people that we wanted in to run our lives. We were given the power and consent to be governed. We didn't want a king. We didn't want a monarchy. We didn't want a parliament that was going to be taking away our liberty and our rights. We wanted a Congress that'll listen to us because we're putting in representatives of our territories into the Congress to hopefully make good laws that would propel our country forward, not going backwards in time. We had a justice system. We had judicials. We had districts, appellates, all the way up to the Supreme Court, hoping to make good law, and sometimes they didn't make good law. And it had taken us decades, almost a century or two, to fix things left and right. What we're dealing with. Now we're dealing with a judicial system that's either going into anarchy or into autocratic society thinking. We have religious, evangelicals, faith-based cultures out there thinking only one matters because nothing else does. Christianity has to be the primary. Christianity has to be everything. And then we still worship the Trump. We worship because it's the only thing we've got is worshiping the Trump. We must worship. And if you don't worship, if you don't have the faith in one particular lunatic and his dreams, then you're a dirty, rotten traitor, and therefore has to be treated as such. Doesn't matter if you've served, doesn't matter if you fought for the country, doesn't matter if you served in any way, shape, or form. You're still a dirty, rotten traitor because you didn't believe in a Trump and the malarkey that he spewed. So now we're dealing with this. An upcoming election that is affecting everybody. If that wasn't bad enough, we're causing more and more chaos and confusion, or helping with the process of causing more and more chaos and confusion that's devastating across the globe. People trying to clear up, people trying to repair damages over a damn hurricane that just roared through and a lot stronger when it came in for the first time. Scared the hell out of people when you're seeing a 5 coming down your shoreline here. Got to deal with that. That wasn't bad enough. How about the country smoking up? I'm not talking about using tobacco or marijuana. No, we're talking about smoking up brush and forests and having fireworks and having people causing fire because of stupidity or by choice. Being ignorant of what causes fires, even in a local neighborhood, even in a home area that you live in. But kids don't understand or don't care to understand why we tell them no. No, there's not even that being said to the kids. They're just encouraged because there's nobody else to tell them no. And if something happens, they'll run away because that's what kids do. The adults have to come in and clean up the mess if the mess is fixable. And if it isn't, well, I guess we're screwed over that way, aren't we? Celebrating a country with fireworks. Yeah, the American tradition of having artillery shells bursting over your head and praying that your dogs or your animals don't go nuts, but they generally do. Or the veterans or people who are sensitive to bangings don't go insane over it, having a wig out. Bad enough we have to have certain areas in our country that are barbecuing left and right, temperatures going up, even worse off. Yeah, kind of thoughts I get this early in the morning, looking how things are. Or if you want to talk about violations of your own religious freedom, how about gravestones regarding your past loved ones being torn apart? Ooh, or how about Denali National Park in Alaska? As I was talking about fires, I didn't realize Alaska was burning up. Denali Forest. This was one of the areas that tourist companies would take their tourists to see the last remaining wilderness. And they're going up in smoke because of the weather. Getting so damn dry up in Alaska that they're about to keel over. So what am I celebrating for? Our freedom? Freedom from what? We're already creating so much havoc right now as it is. I wonder if it was better if we actually had King George and the descendants of King George from England still here. I mean, how would you like to house troops without your permission? Or some king across the waters is telling you all the things that you're supposed to be doing and being taxed so they can gather all the resources they can from the colonists to fill their own damn coffers. But if the colonists are going to be complaining about things, I'm sorry, you're not here. You're not being representative, so shut up. And you don't like it? Tough. We got troops in your area. Bad enough we had to deal with the French, bad enough we had to deal with the Spanish, and now we got to deal with Native Americans. But if that wasn't the problem, we had to deal with England. What else is new? And these days, England is our friends. Native Americans are still pissed off at us, and I don't blame them. Spain is still going through leadership issues, so I don't know what the hell's going on with these guys. As well as France. They're supposed to be allies. I mean, we did go through World War I and World War II, trying to save their butts, and yet we still have issues. But people keep forgetting. People keep forgetting. People don't want to learn history. People don't want to understand history. They don't want to understand where we're coming from or what's happening these days. They really don't. This is what's happening. This is our country. So, you're going to tell me what we're going to need to do? We're going to do to celebrate it for what? Our independence from who? From what? Our own stupidity? Our own logic? Our own damn heads? Someone else's version of what America's supposed to be, but not our own? We're supposed to be following someone else who's got red caps and things saying Trump is it, or make America great. Shit, give me a break. What do I want? What would I celebrate? The ghosts. The meetings that we actually had. The theoretical ideology that we actually had. The dreams of plurality. When it was times when we could actually disagree with each other without trying to find a polarizing viewpoint to kill each other over, figuratively and literally. Or we're not threatening everybody else because they are on the opposite side. That we're not crucifying people one way or another because of their own religious or sexual belief or their own physicality that threaten everybody else. Because the looks of them or the idea of them scares the hell out of everybody else. Didn't matter who and what you are, you scared the hell out of the common norm. Question, what was the common norm? I don't know anymore. But it pisses me off that if I'm going to have to start not caring, not giving a damn about our country. So much ideology, so much vitriol, so much anger. I don't recognize our country anymore. I don't recognize it anymore. It's not the physical structures. It's not the geologic, magnificent beauty of it all. I don't recognize those people. There was a movie I kept quoting left and right concerning about America being advanced citizenship. We got to want it bad. We got to support, even if the other guy had the right of yelling and screaming at us. We have to celebrate the right that he's got that right to do so. And we can't stand his vitriol. but we can support the rights. We can support the legality. We can support what it is, and not just turning the country into someone else's waste bag. Like I know any better. I say these things like I'm superior to everybody else, like I'm an elitist. People have called me a liberal, and they also called me a libturd. Liberal retarded. Basically, that's the libtard thing. Libturd is you're a liberal shithead. They've called me that a long time ago. And if I had a sense of pride in me, I'd probably either accept it, laugh it in their face, say, okay, fine, just call me that one, why don't you? But at least I'm not into this kind of wokeism crap, whatever the damn thing is. I mean, don't tell me what the fuck this shit is. Wokeism? You don't like the country the way it was originally founded? Or people coming in with their ideas and dreams? You want the one common theme and that's about it? Everybody shares the belief and the worship and cult status and the cult-like thinking. God forbid you call people like that cultists. Because they don't want to see it. They want to be the faithful. That's not faith. Faith is putting something on the line that you have no idea, can't even describe it, can't even feel it, but you have an instinct for it that you hold on to with everything that you've got, even more so, and struggle with your own ideas, ideologies at this point over here. Faith is putting something of a trust in a power greater than yourself that you can't even understand. The power that you keep trying to re-identify and classify and label, and you still can't define the damn thing. Faith in people that keep putting it down, but then again, you still think that there's some good to them. Trust is a different thing altogether. I don't trust the voters. I don't have faith in the voters because they don't have faith. I'm not talking about their own belief systems. What was the thing that was not exactly drilled into their head, but they actually had an innate understanding of what our country was supposed to be, what their own lives are supposed to be? What did they put their faith and trust in a long time ago? They were told in their churches and synagogues and temples that there are these icons, these representations, that we throw everything else in. But somebody else comes along with the Pied Piper and starts piping it to them. They're turning their necks around and trying to listen to the damn music. So whatever kind of philosophies are being passed down generation to generation was being muted. It's like I want to have a discussion with the dead on this one. If I could have talked to the founding fathers of our country, I mean seriously have a talk with them, they would probably be amazed and terrified of the country we've got right now as it is. Hell, if I actually had a whole line of these guys right here to talk to, I would. I would try to get an understanding what they went through compared to what we're going through right now. And the thing of it is they'll tell me it's still in my hands. Mine? You're telling me that all this crap is in my hands? I don't trust the damn voters, but I trust myself. But do I trust myself a lot better than I trust anybody else? I have to have a faith. I have to have an understanding that things are working beyond my control. And the larger pictures are being displayed, but section by section, we may not like what's happening. But it is under a control. People think they want to understand everything. The problem is faith is putting everything on the line that you don't know. But you have an instinct that this is going to have to be. And that's what I have to follow. That's what I have to follow. The plan is out there. I got to do whatever I got to do to take care of it. I vote. I talk. I discuss. I don't use anything else to beat over people's heads. And when it comes down for the Pied Piper, let him toot his music. I got my own. I got my own. If I'm going to have to deal with the other people who are affected by the Pied Piper, let them. Let them say and do whatever they want. I still got my own end to deal with. I will follow the dreams that I've always led to believe. I will follow the faith that I was given and the trust. Trust that I know what the hell I'm doing. I don't, but I stumble blind, and that's how it is. We stumble blind, but we go forward. I'm not taking someone else's comment and saying, I know the way, I will lead it. Fine, you go somewhere. You lead wherever you gotta lead. I'm going my direction, what I understand, what I know, and who do I trust? Who I have put my faith and trust in. So these days, it's so screwed up, let it be screwed up. That's how it is. And for right now, that's all I gotta say about it. I will say happy birthday, America, 248 years. Major struggle, and we're not done with it yet. You ever looked at the back of the dollar bill, $1 US bill? See how the pyramid is? Be terrified when it's fulfilled, because that's someone else's idea and ideology of what America should be, especially when it gets completed. It's not adaptive, is it? We're still trying to build our country in a format that people can understand. Be terrified when someone actually has a solidified idea and this is how it's supposed to be. I'm sorry, America's not that way. It's supposed to go forward, it's supposed to grow, not be stagnated, and not be under anyone's maggot view.